Come on in, come on in, come on in, come in the room. Hello, 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 you all. And hey, right, come in, hit that like, hit that share button. How are you all doing? How are you all doing? I've been dealing with this tonsillitis, so I have to be very, very selective when I live stream and to give my voice some rest. But when I can, I do, right? I am going to get my tonsils removed. It's just going to be the only remedy as I deal with this over 3 times on a yearly basis. So unfortunately, it takes adults longer to recover from tonsillitis than it does kids, but or tonsil surgery, but we're gonna make it do what it do, right? We're gonna make this get this old body to act right. Hello, hey, impossible doc, you all. You had yours removed too, yeah. The ENT told me that as an adult, once you get your tonsil removed because your blood vessels are larger, it takes more time to recover. You don't bounce back as fast as a 5 and 6 year old. But I'm tired of dealing with the hoarseness and with the issues with my tonsils and the pain and all that good stuff. So checking in, let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. Drop your city, your state, your country, all the way from Chi-Town to Windy City, all the way from Chicago. I have family in Chicago. Thank you for tuning in. Again, whether you are watching this live or on the replay, let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. And let's get right into this. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, right? Hit that like button, share this live stream, and subscribe to the channel, right? Coming in from, is it is it Busnaya? Busnaya, am I pronouncing that correctly? Busnaya, BA. Oh, coming in from Busnaya. I see. Okay, Muslim. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in and let me know what part of the world that you are tuning in from. Right. So, major banks. You are over the last 5 weeks. Major banks have been closing at a high rate, astronomical level. And so over the last 5 weeks, we have, let me share my screen with you all. $145 locations. Hello, Judith. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad that you were able to catch me live. Sometimes I see you tuning in and saying hello on the replay. What is going on? Wait, what is going on? Internet. I don't think it's my internet. I think it's really my laptop, right? I cleared my cache and everything, but I think it's really my laptop. So I might just have to read the news to you. But we have major banks closing, you all, 145 location over the last 5 weeks. So what's going on, right? What's going on? Well, banks have been regulated to accept cryptocurrency, or they've been given the green light or the approval to accept cryptocurrency. And let's see, Popular Bank closes 38 branches. So we know 8 plus 3 is what, 11. They have been given the green light of cryptocurrency. And with the news that Brad Garland House announced that the XRP case will be closed. Okay, why is this screen showing? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so let me know if you all can see that the XRP case will be closed. It looks like the banks are getting ready to switch over to our new financial monetary system, our fourth industrial revolution, right? So Popular Bank closes just 38 branches across 7 states as customers face increased increased online services. So we have um, closing down unexpectedly. The banks are just closing these institutions. It's still charges, right? Money laundering charges. So the bank is the seventh largest bank in America. Five in New Hampshire, three in Pennsylvania, and Florida, and Philadelphia. Business. Prepare right now. If you're not already prepared, you should be preparing. I do believe that it is better late than never, but the signs are here. Let us know that major banks are closing. That's just the news report on bank. But we got JP Morgan and Chase. You got Bank of America, Wells Fargo branches. This is a national thing that is quiet, but not quietly going on, and that Americans are not talking about, or many are not talking about. Right now, all right, so let me let you watch this video first. Greetings to you as well. Smile. Well, thank you. I sure will. Another video on the topic that I want you all to see, bank closures, and why it's important more than ever for cash to be converted into coins, silver, copper, and cryptocurrency. More than ever, right?
Let's talk finances. Today, I'm diving into a hot topic, the wave of bank closures sweeping across the US. You've probably noticed your local bank branches shutting down, right? Let's break down why this is happening. First off, major banks like Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo have been rapidly closing branches. From February 7th to March 14th, 2025, around 145 branches shut their doors. This was right after 107 closures from January 12th to February 6th. And guess what? This trend is only expected to intensify with a projected 4.11% reduction in branches by the end of 2025. Leading the pack in recent closures is Flagstar Bank with 44 branches, followed by TD Bank with 38. Even big players like Bank of America and Chase filed for 9 closures each in that same period. But why is this happening? Let's dig into the reasons. First, declining bank assets. Rising interest rates are devaluing assets like cash, investments, loans, and reserves, making it harder for banks to cover their debts. Next, economic factors. High interest rates, sluggish economic growth, inflation, and potential housing market crashes are all adding pressure. Then there's increased regulation. Stricter rules post-2008 recession, like FDIC deposit protection, may be pushing more banks to close. And don't forget the technological shift. The rise of online and mobile banking means fewer people are visiting physical branches, making them less profitable. Now, what does this mean for us, the consumers? Well, with fewer branches, each remaining branch will handle more customers, leading to longer wait times and potentially worse service. This hits hard for over 200 million Americans who still use cash deposits. Moreover, these closures disproportionately affect elderly customers, low-income individuals, people with disabilities, and racially diverse communities. Looking ahead, some experts predict that the last physical bank branch could close as early as 2041. So there you have it. The real reasons behind the bank closures in the US. Make sure to stay informed and consider how these changes might affect you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights.
Bye bye banking. Four major banks have shuttered 145 locations in just 5 weeks. Starting to sound like people don't trust their money in the bank. So major U.S. banks closed 145 branches in just 5 weeks as experts warn communities are being left without vital services. Banks including Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo filed notice to shut the locations between February 7th and March 14th. Now this comes after another 107 locations were lined up to shut down between January 12th and February 6th. Financial institutions must notify the Office of Comptroller of the Currency of their planned closures. It does not mean they will all shut, but in most cases they do. This is crazy. Now, Flagstar Bank led the closures with 44 locations set to get the chop, as 2025 looks set to see the worst wave of branch closures on record. TD Bank filed notice to shutter the second most at 38. In the last 5 weeks of available data, the bank admitted some staff will lose their jobs as a result of the difficult decision to close locations. Really? Now, Bank of America, which closed most locations of any bank last year, filed to close 9 locations. Chase also registered plans for 9 closures. Experts have warned that branch closures are set to accelerate this year, with a further 4.11% decrease on last year's 1,043 closures. It's a lot of banks closing. Now, what's crazy is they're saying that retail banks aren't slowing down and that people do rely on local banks. Yet, there's no doubt that we're moving towards a cashless society. But the increase in people per bank branch and the fact that over 200 million Americans still make cash deposits will only mean longer wait times in banks and a potentially lower overall customer experience. Great, a longer line at the bank. But I mean, they're closing these things everywhere, guys. There's 15 pages of these. Now, what's sad is the closure of brick and mortar branches can also be a particular struggle for the elderly who struggle to operate services such as mobile banking. Traveling out of town to another branch can also present another hurdle. But the shift towards online banking is growing more intense in 2025. Meanwhile, new research recently revealed that the last physical bank branch could close in the U.S. in 2041. Experts from Self Financial reached the number by studying the rate of net closures across the country, which has averaged around 1,646 a year since 2018. But the banks are closing, and there's a reason. Bye-bye banking. 4 major banks have shuttered
So there it is, you all. Bye bye banking, going to crypto, going to digital services, going to a cashless society. Again, if you ever attended any professional NFL game, NBA game, professional sporting event, NHL, soccer, whatever it may be, you know that they are cashless. They do not accept cash. It's all credit card. So now with the XRP case being in the clear, and November of 2025, all banking system and fintech companies having to be on the ISO 20022 messaging system, which is just a language system. We seeing old banks closing, and they have to revamp. Trump is doing away also with Federal Reserves, or trying to do away with it. I don't know if this is something that is normally done, because I don't, get SSI payments. However, I just read something that those people that are receiving the SSI payments will have to file taxes on that this year. I don't know if that's the norm for Social Security, but if that is not the normal, I don't think it's right, because you're already taxed on that money when you pay into Social Security. So why should you have to do double taxation and be taxed again? Also, we have some states that are moving away from state income tax. And the senators are saying that they're moving away from the state income tax, but do not want to increase property taxes at the same time or simultaneously, or retail taxes. However, I believe retail taxes, if we don't see retail taxes increase, right? If we don't see property taxes increase, you're going to see inflation. You're going to see your pricing on your everyday goods and services increase as well. Someone said metal blockchain will be the new banking system XPR. Okay, is that Africa? What country are you tuning in from, Hero? I definitely agree that XPR Proton is a strong candidate to be the new banking system, because it has both private and public ledgers, and KYC, know your customers, identity verification methods as well. I'm definitely stacked up on my XPR Proton. That's a very silent sleeper as well, in my opinion, that the mass majority do not know about. So let's look at 111 to you too. Thank you for that 111 one energy, right? Thank you for that 1111 energy. Let's look at the crypto market. We have Bitcoin at 85,000, XRP holding strong at $2.49. It's this sheer yo. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sheer yo. I definitely need to look into that. No gains today, but it's showing up on the Coin 360 market. So I would definitely look into that crypto for you all and research that. Solana, $1.33. ADA is at 71 cents and showing the 111 simultaneously at the same time. We know Sol and ADA was rumored along with XRP and Bitcoin to be, well, Bitcoin wasn't rumored. Trump did say that there would be a reserve, but we got Solana, ADA, and XRP that's rumored to be in that reserve. That has not been confirmed through the government yet or through Trump yet. However, I do hold those as well, Sol and ADA. In fact, ADA, XPR Proton, ADA, Flare, and Zenfin are widely mentioned cryptos on the Simpsons episode 31, season 31, episode 13. Now, one analyst say that Bitcoin and Ether, I mean, you've been waiting on Ether for the longest, predicting that Ethereum will finally hit 8,000. Like everybody's been waiting on Ether to do, uh, make a massive move for the longest, but predicting that 2025 will be the year where the Bitcoin, Ether, it will hit 150,000, 8,000 respectively. Let's listen in on that to get his perspective. Ex Proton Rick says, I enjoy your content like a mofo. Okay, Ex Proton Rick, I love that. Well, thank you. I'm glad, so glad that you are in the house. We need more YouTubers, social media presence to start covering XPR Proton because, again, that's just a silent sleeper. I do religiously cover that on my channel as well. Not just XPR Proton, but I just think with the Simpsons bringing it out and Flair and Zenfin, that it's going to be a big game changer. And it is like under a penny right now. So very affordable, very dirt cheap. And just, one of those Simpsons coin, along with Ada. Ada is mentioned on the Simpsons as well. Many people thought the Simpsons were relating to XRP when it was not. It was always Zenfin and XPR Proton all the time, right? Uphold has a U.S. crypto reserve basket with Ethereum, XRP, ADA, and Solana, but it does say it will be in the reserve, but it doesn't specifically say it is in it now. I saw that. I was on Uphold. I think you all forgive me for my eye. I have cataract in this eye. So some reason just give me a little issues. I did see that in Uphold. So I do believe that we will possibly see XRP, ADA officially, Solana, and Ethereum officially announced as the crypto reserve basket. So if you all have Uphold, you are absolutely correct. BS Films, it is mentioned. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Let's tune in. Let's looking at this analyst. How many of you all think that we're going to see 150K Bitcoin this year and 8,000 Ethereum? If you believe so, put yes or put no in the comment section as well, right? Put yes or put no in the comment section as well.
ETFs and over $28 billion.
Bringing Wall Street to Main Street.
Steno Research predicts 2025 will be the cryptocurrency market's best year ever, with Bitcoin and Ether poised to hit $150,000 and $8,000 respectively. The bullish outlook stems from favorable regulations, declining interest rates, improved liquidity, and strong post-Bitcoin halving performance. Steno also expects $48 billion in net inflows to Bitcoin ETFs and over $28 billion for Ether ETFs. The report predicts a significant altcoin season, with Trump's presidency driving on-chain activity favoring altcoins.
For all things money, visit benzinga.com/GSTV.
Okay, so that's it. Someone says, Jermaine Oliver's, I believe that Bitcoin will be 180K by the end of the year. You all do know you can buy those in fractional. Well, you don't have to purchase an entire Bitcoin, whatever you have to put towards that. You can get fractions of shares, not shares, I'm thinking like stock, but you can get fractions of Bitcoin. You don't have to get an entire Bitcoin. Many suggest that just 1/10 of a Bitcoin and you will be a millionaire. So you all, we're talking about having a plan better than just working hard for your money. The one thing that does not increase in value is, for many people, is the dollar, is the paycheck. And why is that? Because the dollar is a Federal Reserve note. It is a promise to pay the real money. And let's hope with Trump and Elon Musk and Doge and Trump going into JFK files and wanting to find out, digging up history of who murdered JFK and Dr. Martin Luther King as well. Let's, when they unveil, when they, release the truth about there is no money in Fort Knox, which is gold, you all, and that's going to show that America is broke. America is bankrupt. All other countries, I already know this is why they're already dumping the United States dollar. They're not using the dollar in exchange for their commodities, and they are making provisions ahead of time. But when Americans find out the truth about our dollar, when Americans that are sleeping on this, and Americans that don't know that gold and silver is real money, it has intrinsic value, right? That the fiat paper currency does not have. When many Americans find out about what cryptocurrency is and ISO 20022 messaging system, and which of these cryptos are going to be used for artificial intelligence and robots, and going to be used for our new banking system, for a lot of them, they might be priced out and it might be too late. So the fact that you are taking out your time and due diligence and doing your research and converting your cash into crypto and coins put you ahead of about 98% of Americans, right? When will it take the crown? I don't know what you're talking about. Bitcoin Ethereum is going to blast off even more. XPR is going to take the crown at some point. That's what you're talking about. I do. Hello, Patrice. Hello, Queen. So glad that you are tuning in. I want to, let's see, can I find this video? This was very, very interesting. And I thought about that when Patrice tuned in. Ever since I got my braids out, I just have been sweating profusely, right? And let me see on this about DEI that I want to share with you all. So my braids, I have to go back in. What channel was? Can I? I thought I shared that. Let me see if I shared that on my YouTube channel. Because It's going to show why many Americans, many people, in other words. Okay, John Hope Bryan, here I did share it. My goodness. I feel like I'm in a Baptist church without AC. It's just so hot. My cheeks are glowing. I want to share this. Keep it natural, look great. It's just a lot to put up with. With my braids, I could just go, just get up and go with them, right? Um, what I am going to do is to keep it natural in the winter months more than what I'm accustomed to doing. It's just keeping it natural in the spring and summer months in the South is it's not a good hairstyle in the South, I tell you. And I'm never going to do perm again. I'm not going to do perm again. You all may not know I'm a cancer survivor, so I'm not putting those chemicals in my head ever again. So I would never do perm, but natural is not a good summer. It's not a good summer, hair. And the women on here, they can attest to that. But thank you for the compliment. I thank you so much. The heat in the South is different, and it's very humid. And on top of that, it's very humid in the South as well. I'm going to share this video with you all on DEI. Listen in, listen close.
Why is diversity and inclusion the only way America will survive?
Black people are too emotional on this topic, and some white people are too narrow-minded and fearful. This literally makes no sense. I'm dropping this today. We're going to publish this in a couple weeks, I believe, on CNBC, and I'm taking on the entire hard right. And my prediction is they won't have much to say. Here's why. It's called the Business Plan for America. Now, I'm going to do this real quickly. In 1952, America was 90% white. That meant that what Dr. King and Andrew Young and Dorothy Height did in the civil rights movement was genius, because basically America was doing the moral thing because we didn't have the numbers. Mm-hmm. America today is 40% black and brown. And you add all other minorities in, we're already a majority of minorities. But black and brown group will be a majority of minority within 10 or so years. So now we're a majority of minorities. We're going to be the first generation where the population is a majority over 65 years of age. Mm-hmm. Read baby boomers who are white, wealthy, and trying to retire. So in our lifetime, you're going to have the first generation over 65 years of age, wealthy, white, and trying to retire. Social Security by 2034 will only be able to pay 70 cents of every dollar for retirement, which means you need more money going into Social Security. Now you have a population of black and brown people for the first time in history that's basically going to be a majority of minority, and that's just going to keep escalating. The largest population of poverty in this country are poor whites. And the number one group dying are high school educated white men. By the 2045 census, you're going to have all these sort of numbers coagulating together, and you're going to have an economy that doesn't work anymore, because black and brown people were never given the memo on free enterprise, capitalism, economics, ownership, and opportunity. We confuse making money with building wealth. By 2053, black America will have a net worth of zero. If all we do is what we're doing right now, black people have a net worth, 41% of black people own a home, 41 to 43%. The number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. Mm-hmm. It's part of what we've been talking about today. And once you become a homeowner, there's only so much land, and that's it. It's done. It's hard for that value not to go up if you're anywhere near places of economic activity and jobs. So that's how people compound when they sleep, but we don't own homes. Latinos are not much better. By 2072, I believe it was, Latinos will have a net worth of zero. So the two groups that are going to be the majority of minorities were never taught free enterprise, capitalism, economics, and opportunity. So now let's deal with diversity and inclusion. What's the biggest economy in the world? I've already said it, the U.S. What's the most diverse country in the world? The U.S. What are the two most diverse states? California and New York. Yeah. What's the two most prosperous states? These are not trick questions.
California, New York.
California and New York. All right. What's the biggest economy in the South? Not a trick question. Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
$455 billion a year. 10th largest economy in the United States. Mm-hmm. What's the most diverse place in the traditional South?
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Now, you take 6 states around Atlanta. States, not cities. Mm-hmm. You can name them. Alabama, Mississippi, you can name them. The Atlanta city economy is bigger than all 6 states. You can take 3 of those states together, put them inside a bucket, and sit it inside of the city of Atlanta's economy. That's because diversity is actually good business. If you're a business today, a company, a Fortune 500 company, you're 36 more likely to be prosperous and profitable if you're diverse and inclusive. Mm-hmm. Put another way, the most profitable big companies in America are diverse and inclusive. The math on this stuff, and we can go on, I can do this forever, but I think the point is sort of obvious. How do you cancel diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, which are basically DE&I is the R&D, the research and development for the future economy. So if the folks replacing the folks got the jokes but don't have the capital, America can only continue to be the superpower of the world. There's never been a superpower that wasn't an economic power. What's America today? But we cannot continue unless the folks listening to this program and watching this video become capitalists.
Why is diversity and inclusion the only way America will survive?
So I know John Hope Bryan, and I would listen to more of his teachings. Say that home ownership for many minority is the key to building wealth. Of course, he talks about capitalism. Capitalism is putting your money to work for you harder than you work for the money. However, the mortgage, the mortier, the death pledge, if you don't understand principal only payments when you're purchasing a home, right? And then if you have an FHA loan, you have to pay mortgage insurance up to a certain amount as well. And then you have that mortgage insurance on the FHA loan protect the banks in case you default on your mortgage. And so with that, I believe the financial education has to be there on how mortgage repayments work. Because if you just pay mortgages as is, and I do believe that owning a home is a great thing, but there's ways you can pay it off in 7 to 15 years, right? Having a piece of land, having some property, but you never know when your property taxes can increase. That's out of your control. However, having that financial education on how to repay your mortgage so that you are not, because mortgages are front loaded. I think I had that teaching back here, right? Mortgages are front loaded, and with it, mortgage, death pledge, a grip. Then you have amortization interest that's on a home loan. So that's the whole other teaching. You can find it on my YouTube channel. But what I do agree with, we have to, even if you are an employee, you have to learn entrepreneurship, investing strategies and skills simultaneously at the same time. I will not just be an employee to be an employee and don't invest my money and only work for my money. Living the Dream says, guess he doesn't know about smart cities and this not what's happening. I'm assuming you're talking about what happened in California, the California wildfires, the smart cities that's coming to California. When he mentioned that California and New York are and that Atlanta in the South, but California and New York are the most diverse and the most economically richest, states to be a part of where most tourists and money inflows. And that is absolutely correct. Make sure you research the company, you get your braids. You know what? Thank you for that, Brown. This probably go against what a lot of black women do, but I've been wearing the same braid for years. I just wash them like I would my natural hair. And mine's a crochet, and I've had that look for years, so I just keep it. So that's not what most black women do, and they wear, sew-ins and things like that. I don't do the sew-in. I just do crochets, right? Braided and crochets, and that's just been my style and my look for I would at least say almost the last 10 years. I wash it like I would my natural hair, my own hair, right? So, yep, it's a part of me now. That's my look. We got Trump crypto at 6.3% gains on today. We got Pi. I have downloaded that app for Pi, but I have not started mining it yet. I'm going to just have to take out some time and start and set that up to mine my Pi through the app. I have the app downloaded, but I have not started the mining process. Form, I know nothing about that, but it's up 8.3%. Render 4.9%. We got HDC at a dip. Pepe, also mentioned on the Simpsons as well, is up 1.1%. Ethereum is a negative 0.5%. A lot of people say just buy the X, coins, anything with the X. Well, that could fall under the category of XMR and HTZ. Now, XMR is a privacy token, but I just believe XPR being, bank security set up and both public and private ledger does that and more, and at a more cheaper entry price than what XMR does. If you got XMR cheap, then go ahead with it. I think the price right now is $217, right? So Monero, STZ, I had some of this. It's at 68 cent Tezos, but it's just not on my top 20. I'm not telling anybody to get it or not to get it, but I do like to say people just, make blanket statements of just buy anything with the X. And I'm like, well, that's will fall under XMR and XTZ, and there's other X cryptos. So you have to be more specific with it. It's just because something with the X, it means that it will have global presence, does not mean that it's going to be the one that's going to retire you or make you a millionaire or multimillionaire. So I just don't take that advice at surface level. So we got XTX at a negative 0.7, XLM at a 0.13. So pretty much the market is staying pretty stable today. Has been in the red for this month. I'm really expecting us. I definitely have some Jasmine and Stewie. I probably will, not financial advice, this is me talking out loud. We'll get some more SUI on this dip at 31% dip. Also, Quant, definitely in my portfolio as well at a cheap $76.83, in my opinion. Also, IOTA, 18 cents. Wow, amazing. Absolutely amazing. 18 cents. And then we got Tensor, Tau, $254, have the same tokenomics as Bitcoin. 21 million, having anonymous person like Satoshi is behind this project. I think Big Tensor will be the next Bitcoin, and guess what? It's on sale at a negative 41% discount, right? So that's all I have for you all. I am going to let you all know whenever that surgery will happen. I have a follow-up appointment with my ENT doctor on April 1st to discuss and schedule that. And he told me to expect to be without my vocals and on ice cream. I'm not looking forward to it, but I just got to do what I got to do. I'm tired of having tonsillitis and having these issues. You all pray for a very quick and speedy recovery whenever I go live with this surgery. That's why I haven't been live streaming as much. I just been resting my voice, gargling with salt water, natural salt water. And I've taken my antibiotics. So the bacterial infection is not there. The last I got went to my ENT. However, it does swell, so I take some ibuprofen to keep the inflammation and the swelling down. So pray for a successful surgery and that I get a fast recovery, because I'm going to miss live streaming and talking to you all. But I'm going to live stream as much as I can up to that scheduled surgery to keep you all updated about what's going on in the world, especially from a spiritual and financial perspective. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to end the live stream. Try not to do hour-long live streams. Crypto Jake is not in. He must then get the notification. I'm not going to say bye crypto suckers as much. I'm going to preserve my voice. Yes, I am. I got to say it one more. I I said before I end this live stream. Buy crypto, suckers. You better buy your crypto, suckers. Also, go to the website, milliemoves.com. Visit that website. Get your silver, the most undervalued asset in the world. Get your copper, a global shortage on copper as well. Go to the website, milliemoves.com. You need money that is off the grid. And yes, I did. I'm going to be telling you all, I'm going to be saying that when we see 125 Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you, I told y'all. Y'all thought I was playing, but I told y'all. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, you all. I told y'all. And I'm going to say that about XPR Proton as well. I also have to do the I told y'all about XRP, but it's not going to be what you all think. You're like, I really believe we're going to see a double-digit XRP this year. However, I don't, $13 at the highest, $10 to $13. If it does 20, that's going to out definitely outpace my prediction. I hope it does because, XRP, that's my top 5 holdings. But I don't see the $100 XRP or the 4-digit, 3-digit XRP like many are saying. I've gone on record in stating that I definitely believe that there's going to be Ripple. Ripple's going to have an IPO, private stock for accredited investors, and we're going to see that price with Ripple available to the accredited investors, but not necessarily XRP. However, the confidence in XRP is that Judge Torres, when she made the judgment on XRP, and her judgment was that XRP should have only, or her opinion rather, was that XRP should have only been sold to accredited or institutional investors, right? Institutional investors. And so the fact that you could possibly, as a retail investor, be holding on to something for institutional investors is a big deal. And guess what? And thank you for my follower that brought this to my attention and told me that I told y'all was the 7. Okay, I don't, why did what? The 7-11 and gematria. So the ordinal of that is 110. I told y'all reduction is 38. 8 plus 3 is 11. The 133, the double 33, the year that Christ died, 33 degrees Fahrenheit, ice is then transformed or illuminated into liquid. Christ's death, he went from a physical form into a spiritual form, 3 days, right? 3 nights. And 133 equals 7. And then we have a 7 here. 7-11, the winning numbers in dice. The winning number in dice when you play that game, 7-11, right? Thank you. Can I do a video about how you buy real estate with crypto, XRP, pretty please? I haven't sold my crypto yet to buy real estate. I use credit to buy my real estate. I leveraged it through business credit loan. I leveraged my personal credit and then got approved for a business credit loan. I'm really, really thinking about selling my real estate this summer. And I know it's risky because it cash flows, right? And I don't owe any loan on it. It's free and clear, but I'm really thinking about selling it and just, going all in on crypto. This thing, my real estate is cash flowing as long as I have a tenants in it, and it seems a little risky. So I have, some weeks and month my tenants lease generally ends in July and things like that. So I'm just going to see if interest rates on loans are going to drop. And then I'll make a decision from there. But as long as interest rates stay the way they are, I don't know. I might, speaking of rolling the dice, that's very risky because crypto is still, in my opinion, very, very young. but to sell some real estate and to acquire some more altcoins and get a higher ROI. And then long-term plan is to roll that over into Bitcoin. I definitely think that's the way to go. I don't know. I'll keep you all updated on what my final decision about that. Right. Okay, you all, I'm logging off. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace. Queen out. Don't forget to go to the website, millermoves.com. Get your copper, get your silver, and buy crypto suckers. And I told y'all, peace. All right, hold on. Oh, this is spammer. So I'm not even gonna read that. Like and subscribe to the channel and like this video.